here with Talking Hands, we're going to show you how to make a head pin. We're going to show you several different techniques. Normally a head pin is like a straight pin that has a little nail on it, a head on it, and it holds the bead in place. And in most cases people would buy a head pin, but there's some cases where you find out that...
Yeah, when would you not use a purchased head pin?
The answer to that is simple. There are some cases where a purchased head pin won't work, and as you can see right here, this bead has a larger hole, and if we try a purchased head pin on it, it just goes right through. It goes right through. So sometimes you need to make your own head pins, and then other times you just run out, and so you might have to improvise and make a head pin.
And then if you make your own, you have more options generally with colored wire for design purposes.
Yeah, you can make your head pins out of colored wire, and that can add design interest to your project. And what we'll show you here is these 6 ways. They're by no means are these 6 ways the only 6 ways, but they're 6 relatively easy ways to make a head pin. And the first way right here is we just make an eye loop with the smallest possible loop that we can make. So, you know, this is just a regular conventional eye loop, and we did the instructions on that earlier.
And so you're making it with the tips of these?
With the tips of the round nose pliers.
Oh, the round nose pliers, okay.
Yeah. And so that's a head pin made with an eye loop. And this head pin I call the infinity head pin because it looks like a sideways figure 8 or the symbol for infinity. And it's just made with 2 pegs on one of our WigJig tools.
And move the bead up so it's easy to see. There you go.
So you can see that, you know, here's another bead with a very large hole, and the infinity head pin here holds that bead on, and then, you know, we could make a loop at the top and make this an earring if we wanted to. Obviously this bead we showed you where the head pin slid right through. This isn't the most attractive head pin, it's just a simple loop and it's bent 90 degrees. But with a large bead like this and the matching wire, you really don't notice that little loop there when you hang a bead this large. And there's sometimes you have a piece of stone that might have a hole in it, and it could even be considerably larger than that.
I see.
This particular head pin we call Queen of Clubs because it looks like the card suit clubs. And you can see it's just made with 3 pegs in a pattern on one of our WigJig tools. And we have the instructions for how to make this on our website. And we'll also probably do a project later on with the video showing how to make a simple earring.
Right. That's a real popular one. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. This one, we made a spiral. But we made the spiral a special way using our WigJig spiral maker, and we used the center wire from the spiral to bring it out and wrap around the outer wire of the spiral maker. And what that does is it makes the spiral permanent so it won't pull apart.
Perfect.
So we have instructions on our website how to make the permanent spiral here, but you can see we can use the spiral as a large head pin with a big bead like this.
Yes, that's great.
And the final way that we're going to show here is we just took a piece of wire and we hammered the piece of wire with the back ball peen side of our metal chasing hammer, and we hammered it until it was extensively flattened out, and then we used our flush cutter to cut a little shape into it and to cut the diamond at the bottom. And so we've made a head pin that way, and it's just, you know, it's a way you can make a head pin out of a single piece of wire. And you know, if you're willing to put the effort into hammering, it can be an interesting head
So there's
pin.
no loop in that, it's just been hammered.
It's just been hammered, there's no loop
Great,
at all.
it looks great.
Yeah, so that's several techniques for for making a regular head pin, and especially for making a head pin that'll work with a larger bead, which the normal commercial head pins will.
That's great, good overview of head pins.